What is going on, everybody? It's Jay, aka It's 1000 Story here, back with another Phantom Parade news video, and this is something for global players to look forward to in the very near-ish future. I would say maybe in the next 2 months, but this is something to look forward to 100%. So for the celebration of 1,000 days of Phantom Parade, we are getting a new edition of the wishlist banner. Now, if y'all don't remember what the OG wishlist banner was, I went back into my videos to try and find, like, if I made a video on it, and I made a video on it in passing where we had like the new chapter launch memo select gotcha. Basically, you pick out of the featured selection. Now, back then, the featured selection was up to Rapid Escape Megami, Kusakabe, and Jogo. And then you would just have 3 featured units with a rate up on that said banner. Now, this banner was already really good as is because it had a lot of non-existing, future standard options that weren't currently standard banner. But I feel like the pool that we're getting here is so much stronger than the pool we had here, right? I mean, Rapid Escape Megami was like easily the greatest out of like the 3 headliners that were right there. But I mean, we see the headliners right here, but we got to remember, I guess you could say, the other units to take into consideration, because this new banner is up to Kenjaku. Now, being up to Kenjaku is a ridiculous thing because there are so many other units that released behind Kenny that are broken, right? Because 2026 has been nothing but, for the most part, very broken releases. So, obviously, you have Kenjaku, easily the best red Jujutsu unit you could pull, right? That would be like one of the top priorities I would tell a lot of players to go for if they were to summon on the banner. You have Urame, you have the new Nanami, you have Blue Yaga, you have Red Momo, and then you have, well, will I find him to make the joke? Oh yeah, you have AG. He's there, right? He exists. But like, you guys gotta see, like, that is some insane options. Now, for the most part, I expect the player base to have Urame because we had the DICE event. So we already had like a ton of free tickets, unless like obviously you went the route of getting your guaranteed copy of Blue Ghetto. So you had to like skip out on Urame's tickets. But I feel like most players probably shot for Urame. And then obviously I still believe Nanami is absolutely broken. I don't care how bad that Shaft video was. In fact, that's like one of the most viewed summon videos on the channel, was me taking that horrendous L on Nanami. But, Momo, Yaga, Kenjaku, Nanami, Urame, what can I say? And then also, obviously, there's previous units that aren't in standard banner just yet. Obviously, we still have Rapid Escape Megami, Kusakabe, the King of Curses, Jogo, that I got A2 in that one summoning video I did in the filler, and then obviously now Obito. So there is a lot of like not current standard options that are going to be featured for the rate up on the banner. Now, when this banner eventually does come to global, I probably will be making like slight suggestions to the general player based on what they should be aiming for. If you guys are wondering who I'm going to be pulling for most likely when this banner arrives, I'm going to be pulling for units that I don't have dupes in already. I would like at least A1 on like basically majority, if not all, of my box. So I'm probably aiming for A1 on Yaga, A1 on Momo, A1 on AG, just to kind of fit. And then obviously I could probably chase like A2 on Yaga or A2 on Momo for the plus 10 CE from A2. So that's kind of like the game plan here, because at the moment, I mean, A2 obviously just gives that plus 10 CE and that little percentage increase on the co-op ult. So in order for me to get like some super duper great value on the DPS units that I have, I would need like A3 on Kenjaku, A3 on Nanami and stuff. So, and I already have Urame A2 for the plus 10 CE. So I have a pretty clear-cut game plan of what I'm going to do. However, I do say, like, Red Jujutsu, get yourself Kenjaku. Because obviously, as it currently stands in the moment, like, I firmly believe that Red Standard is like the most anti-free-to-play side of the game. Like, it's definitely amongst the weaker side in terms of just general, like, team building, because Green has the SPs, Blue has the SPs, And yellow kind of has a pretty stacked standard roster since Shoko got added. So it's kind of cooked for red at the moment. So Red Kenny, Momo, y'all got to get yourself some of that. And on the other side, aka the paid side of the game, we do have a gacha guarantee on one selected SSR character or one selected SSR remnant. Now, from what I can see, paid draws only and can only be pulled twice during the period. So I believe you can get yourself one character, one memory, 500 cubes. Right now, 500 paid cubes. I'm going to just put you on the game here, all right? Because I do believe this is probably the cheapest, best option Phantom Parade has ever released. So in terms of cube count, right? 500 paid cubes is like, from the cube shop, is like the equivalent of like $4. So you can get this, and there you go. Just like that, all of a sudden, you guaranteed yourself like Choso and a rec bit of your choosing, right? So at least that's what it says. One selected. So that means you should be able to have the choice, right? The free will to choose from the standard pool. So obviously Choso and Cursed Spirit School Group are the ones that they're advertising, but it should be just encompassing standard banner in and of itself. Now you have to take into consideration in terms of like paid selectors, that is the cheapest option we have ever received, because all the other paid selectors that are in the game, right? Like for example, I always tell light spenders to never go for these types of gachas because they aren't selectors. Yes, they have like a cut down pool in comparison to other banners, but there's also usually just some certified filler units that if you were to pull them, you'd be like, oh wow, I definitely would have preferred like almost anybody else, which is why like a banner like this is like extremely high value because it has the general standard pool units. Yes, right? So like whales obviously wouldn't benefit from this. People who saved up like hundreds or thousands of standard banner tickets and spammed all of them probably wouldn't benefit much from this, but maybe like a player who's like in the middle area of the game or like semi late game or even early in the game can benefit from just throwing $4, getting a broken character of their choice and a broken rec bit of their choice just flat out. Because the other options that exist in the game is spending $25 to get it. Because I was going to make a video like before all the injury stuff occurred, which is still ongoing. I was going to make videos on these items, which comes with the SSR character select ticket, which comes with the 3,000 cubes, right? So it's like $25 character of your choice plus cubes. This, you just need 500 cubes for a character of your choice, rec bit of your choice. So again, weigh it out in your mind, weigh it out in your head. $25 versus $4. That I like this pace. I hope this isn't just like a one-time celebration type of ordeal, and this is a gacha practice they continue onwards in the future, because this is something that players may avoid, but I do think are insanely high value, but they're gate kept because they're held together with those 3,000 cubes. Because the 3,000 cube packs are just inherently $25 no matter what. So you have all of these items that are of immense value, like the SP Grimoire. I wouldn't say the Phantasmal Orb is high value because like, well, if you just have materials you'll never use, like I've never used these. I don't think I'll ever have to use these, right? But like the character tickets and the rec bit ticket are all immensely high value, and they're gate kept by $25 because they always bundle them with the 3,000 cube pack. So just being able to kind of, I guess, avoid the anniversary route and just go like, well, maybe I don't want to get the 3,000 paid cubes. Maybe I don't want to spend $25 at the moment. Maybe it's not inherently necessary, right? Maybe you don't want to just spend just for the sake of spending. Maybe you just want to make a little investment and get a payout of it. There you go. 500 cubes, $4, call it a day. Well, USD. Translate that to your country's currency, because I'm starting to realize that the average It's Go Story audience member is not from the big old US of A. So take that as you will. But there's also obviously a web shop exclusive release that's like coming with like 1,000 cubes and 2,000 cubes. I don't know the yen to USD translation, or how do I say it? We're not even going to try and find a word. We're kind of brain farting right now. But basically, 500 yen, 1,000, whatever that is in our currency, USD or whatever your currency is, it's probably on the cheaper side. It's probably just flat out on the cheaper side because, again, we have all these super expensive options that already exist in game. Like, I always make fun of this pack because it's $40 for 5k cubes, but the main appeal is the chaotic Jujutsu crystal, and there's only a singular one. They need more chaotic Jujutsu crystal packs. I mean, look at the gacha packs. Look at that. Oh yeah, and everybody that was wondering, like, how did you get so many Nobara tickets? It's right here. It's right here. But yeah, that's really it. TLDR, those are some high value banners. And since there's going to be a lot of upcoming skip units, obviously Ichiji, Gakuganji, they aren't necessity units. Mai is pretty cool from what I've seen, but again, in terms of general content, if you have the OG GOAT for blue damage received, Ghetto, you can indeed skip Mai as well. These are insanely high value. This is the banner. This is the banner. I think, like, in terms of just the power levels that we had here get dwarfed by what's going on here. And it only makes sense because as the game goes on, power cliffing just becomes more and more and more prevalent. So let me know in the comments down below 4 to 3 units you're going to choose on this banner, right? Are you going to be doing this little paid banner right here, this little 500 cube thing? Let me know in the comments down below. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, join the Discord server. It's in the channel bio where I talk about Phantom Parade and other stuff with y'all. We're on the road to 3,000 subscribers, so it'd be very nice if you could sub up. We're getting relatively close. We grew a lot during this anniversary season, and I appreciate that. All right? It's been Jay, aka It's Discount Story, and I will see you guys later.